Alright, what is going on, guys? Davidonthereg here, and today we're back with another flight sim video back in the Magknight. We're actually loaded up with the WestJet livery here, sitting on runway, I think that's 26 left at Vancouver, and today I'll be showing you guys how to take off in the Magknight, so let's get started. Right, so starting this tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to hop into the cockpit, do some flows. Usually you'd either do these at the gate or before entering the runway, but let's hop in there and go through them. Right, so in the cockpit what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the overhead panel. Everything here looks good. What we'll probably want to do is turn on the passenger seatbelt signs. We're going to throw that onto on. And it should also indicate here that, where is it? Seatbelts on. There we go. So the seatbelts are on. And then, basically you just want that. So what you're going to want to do here is turn the passenger seatbelt signs to on. Pretty much always want those to be either on unless you're at cruise and there's no turbulence. And another time you'd actually not have it on would pretty much just be when the plane is refueling. So pretty much want it on any other time taking off and landing. When it comes to the wipers here, you only want to turn those on when it's raining. You're not going to want to wear them out or just have them running when it's not. So for this case, I guess it's not raining outside, so we're just going to turn that off. All the light switches, those are just whatever. Landing lights, those are extremely important, so let's turn those all on. Runway turn-off lights, these you only use for landings, so these are staying in the off position. Taxi lights, if you're not taxiing, like right now we're just holding short here, that can come off. Strobe lights, those are coming on. Beacon lights are coming on as well. Nav lights are coming on. Logo lights are coming on, and wing lights are coming on. You want all four of these on for takeoff. When it comes to anti-ice, I just have these onto auto, but if you know you're going to need them, you know, just throw them into on. And when it comes to the wing, I also just have that on auto because it's clearly not it's not snowing outside. We're not going to have any icing conditions running up to our cruising altitude, and if there are, these will automatically come on, so that's why there's an auto place for them. Hopping down to the middle panel here, we want to make sure that the gear is down. Usually you'll set that up at the gate. We also want to make sure that the auto brake is on RTO. Don't worry about positions 1, 2, 3, and max, and I think at the actual airplane there's 4 and then max, but don't worry about those. Just switch it over to RTO, and RTO basically means rejected takeoff, so that when you do hit the airplane into toga mode, basically just rolling up the thrust levers into takeoff or go around mode, if you do end up wanting to do a rejected takeoff for whatever reason it is, then what RTO would do is it would set the auto brakes to basically max. So then in that case, what RTO would do is it would set the brakes to max and help you slow down, and you don't even have to actually set the brakes or anything. Basically, what this auto brake will do is upon pulling back the lever, or not the lever, but the thrust, it'll actually set the brakes for you. So that's why you want it in RTO, just in case of a rejected takeoff. Right, the other thing we're going to want to set up is our trim value. So if you basically look at your stab trim, here, there's actually going to be a small green area, and that's basically where you want your trim to be. So right now we're trimming at 8.50. If you actually look on your MCP, and I've already done a whole video on how to set this up, so if you guys don't know how to set up the MPC, what did I say? If you don't know how to use the performance takeoff tool bag here, then just refer to that video. But we do know that based off of the stab trim, we want a stab trim of 4.25. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back onto this screen and set our stab trim to 4.25, and there it is. And then something else we will know from this is that V1 aka our speed of no return, is 145, our rotate speed is 148, and our V2 speed is 156. So, before taking off, something else you would probably want to do is set up the autopilot. So, we're gonna plug in, what was that number? We're gonna plug in our V2 speed, so 156 into the MCP panel. 156, uh-oh, why am I going up? We're supposed to be going down. So 156, 6, there we go. And then that's pretty much it. We also know that N1, since we're doing a D-rate 1 takeoff, our N1 should be at 74.1. So upon rolling up our engines, we want our N1 number here to be, what is it again? We want it to be 74.1. So there it is. For taking off, something else that I like to do is I like to turn off the secondary engine information. And that basically just, as you see there, hides all the unnecessary engine information that we're not going to need. So it gets rid of the N2, it gets rid of the oil temperature. I think there's also vibration stuff somewhere here, not sure, but let's just get rid of that, and it shows us the ignition and the N1, which is pretty much the only stuff that's really important to us for takeoff. Something else that we want to do is lower the flaps. So as set in the electronic flight bag, we're going to do a flaps 10 takeoff. So if you just go on your keyboard and click 2 about 4 times, it should bring the flaps to 10 degrees. Oh no, that's 15 degrees. Did I click it 5 times? 2, 3, 4. Oh no, never mind. I guess it's only 3 times on, oh no, it's 4. Wait up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, never mind. So it is only 3 times on the 787. So you want to click the number 2 button on your keyboard 3 times, or you can also drag it down, just dragging the actual flap lever, if that's what you fancy. So we have that down. Something else that I usually do before taking off is I check all of the errors. So fuel pump center left plus right, and then fuel low center. So if we look up here, probably want to turn these off. Basically, just whenever there's something in yellow, you probably want to look into it. And I don't think we have enough fuel in the center fuel tank. We can actually check that in the systems page, and then going to the fuel. Yeah, so there's nothing in the center tank. If you did have something in the center tank, then turn those on. But we don't have anything in that tank, so you can probably turn those off, and we should be good. So just doing our flows here, everything looks good on the overhead. If your fuel is imbalanced, turn on that cross feed, but if it's not, then don't, because the worst thing you can really have upon takeoff is an imbalanced plane. So if your center of gravity is too far back, it's going to make it hard to pull up, which in the past have actually, led to a few fatal crashes on some airlines. So make sure you have your trim value set up right here, and your center of gravity. So my sim actually crashed as we were rolling down the runway, but everything looks like it's set up. Oh, we actually have 2 errors, or 2 warnings, and there we are. Things fixed. I'm gonna click that engine button, get rid of that. Everything else looks good. We're not gonna need the FMC since it's gonna be flying on, we're just gonna fly manually, maybe even with the heading select, but everything else should be good. We do have a bit of a different takeoff config here. I lowered our D rate, so we're gonna go up to maybe 80 or something like that. Auto brakes RTO, let's just pretend that we never really crashed and that everything is good, and roll our engines up. I also want to get rid of that parking brake for now. Look forward and bring our power up here. Your N1 percent should be somewhere around 80 this time, so we got a little bit more, but that's fine. I think I also changed up the weight and balance, so that's probably why it gave us a different number. Let's head on out here. We have 80, that's fine. I'm just gonna keep it at let's just or not 80, but let's just keep it at 90. Be safe, make sure we actually get off this runway. And here we are. I also noticed that while loading in the aircraft the second time, I actually noticed there's actually another way to enter the runway that goes all the way back. We got pretty much
80 knots.
Oh, and cross-checked. Basically get more distance. So there's that. But let's focus on this takeoff, holding that center line, waiting for our V speeds to come up here. And V1. And rotate. Positive rate. Here is coming up here. Hold that nose. Yeah, my controls have been really weird lately. I might have to recalibrate my joystick or something. 400, there we go. And 2 gears are up, and gear is up. Sweet. Yeah. Not sure what's going on with my my joystick right now, but probably have to update that soon. We're gonna let the aircraft take over.
1,000.
Make it hold that right there, and we're also gonna set the auto throttle, and we're gonna bring it up to maybe 200. 200 there. It should also be climbing to 10,000 now. So there we go. So it's just climbing, and yeah, that's pretty much the tutorial on how to take off. Usually above 1,000, I'll also start cleaning up the flaps, cleaning up the aircraft. The cool thing about the 787 is that the auto brake actually automatically goes to off, which is really nice. You don't really see that in other aircrafts. At least the 737 that I used to fly before, you'd actually have to throw it back onto off by itself, but I guess it does that now. So guys, thank you so much. I'm not sure what it's doing here. I think it's going back down, but let's do that. Yeah, it's just trying to manage our speed right now. Let's just give it 250, and there we go. Yeah, sometimes when you have too low of a speed, it'll actually bump you down, since it doesn't have enough power to actually push you up to that altitude. So there we are, and we should be climbing again. So just keep that in mind, guys. Don't go too slow, don't go too fast. What else is there? Don't climb at too fast of a rate. When you do pull up, usually you only want to go to the 15 mark. Sometimes the airplane will push it to 20. But that's the autopilot, and it's being monitored constantly by the airplane. So I would trust it when it goes to 20, just not any more than maybe 20. Actually, I would probably jump on the yoke if it goes somewhere more than 20. So yeah, just be cautious. And that should be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this takeoff video. It is actually my first flight in the WestJet livery, and it actually looks fantastic. So if you guys like this livery, comment down below, and also hit that like button, and maybe I'll use it in another video. But that's pretty much going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.